What's up, guys? It's me, Alexander Jarvis from alexanderjarvis.com, founder of Fit Folds. So, guys, you've got the SaaS financial model and you're trying to understand it. This video is going to be pretty short because I'm just not going to teach you all that very much. But I'm just going to give you a quick intro into two of the absolute biggest sheets in this model that you do not need to touch, let alone look at if you don't want to. So these are all the way towards the end. So if we, starting from the open, you're going to click across and we'll start looking at, say, the monthly sheet. Okay. As usual, there is a little guide. This one basically says, don't do anything. Links come in here. And then we have, just a serious number of cohort calculations. Okay. And these are all for the basic, premium, and pro. You literally don't have to do anything in this model, but you can see how things are building. So we have start of month customers, we add new customers, we lose customers, and then we have package switching between upgrades and downgrades, and we end up with end of month customers. Okay, same thing for premium, same thing for pro, and then we have end calculations. Based off these customers, when we times them by your ARPA, or your pricing points, this gets converted into MRR calculations. Same structure, just with dollar bills, yo. Now, we pull in all the assumptions from the sheet, so the structure is basically exactly the same as it would look like in the conventional assumption sheet. And these are going to be driving the model, which are the assumptions that you made. And then we'll see, with basic calculation, we have the customer calculation, start of month customers, end of month, let me zoom in a bit for you. Then we have the end of month customers, so we add in the actual customers here, by the way, from your actuals sheet. Then we're adding the new customers, sales supported, and then we have total new customers. Then off these, we then do a calculation based off those for when your churn is going to happen. So you should see this be happening monthly. Next, we have the package switching calculations, upgrades, downgrades, all this fun stuff. And then we have the MRR waterfall, which is calculated and then presents up the top. We do the exact same thing for premium. We do the exact same thing for pro. And that's basically the monthly sheet. All this stuff basically then goes up to the summary sheet, like I explained to you before. So you can see customers, you can see the MRR. This stuff then feeds into the rest of the model, like the P&L, et cetera, for where you want those numbers in, or the KPI sheets. But at the next stop, it goes into the MRR customer summary, which then, feeds the rest of the model. So you can see ARRs, MRRs, churn rates, customers, monthly bookings, ARPAs. And then here are these things which I showed you, here. You just don't have to go into the sheet if you go into the MRR customer summary instead, okay? So all this stuff's in here, right? That you want to check out to see what's happening. Bookings, right? So that is the monthly sheet. Annual sheet. It's got a very similar logic, but this thing took me about 2 weeks to do. Actually, one formula took me 2 weeks to do because it was so fucking complicated. Because it's just very complicated to do some of the stuff that I've enabled you to do with all the flexibility and options that you have. So you may be cursing me for the assumptions, but I had to build this shit to figure out how to actually make it work. And so you'll see that this thing is, this goes on like forever. So there's 3,841 rows. Yay, Alex. Didn't have a life for a while. So we have summaries up here. One of the big differences is that we actually have what I call bookings, right? Which is basically MRR times by 12, or it's going to be, your annual value, which could be at, say, a 20% discount or something to your MRR, to your monthly one, times by the customers that you're taking in. And so you want to book that money when it happens. You're also going to bill it when you have an annual, because that's the whole point, is taking the cash up front. Now, there does become a difference between bookings, billings, and all this stuff. If you have multi-year contracts, this model is not doing multi-year contracts, so we don't have difference between bookings and billings in it, because you're going to book that revenue and you're also going to bill at the same time. So the numbers are actually the same. So bookings and billings can be used interchangeably. If you're like, what the fuck is this guy talking about? I've written a very long blog on what the differences are between bookings, billings, ACVs, TCVs, like every single jargon number you can think of. If you're like, yeah, Alex, I kind of know about this. Sure, I'm just telling you, I wrote that blog because an investor asked me if I could explain things more clearly. So I think there's also a spreadsheet that you can get to see how the calculations work with everything as well. So if you want to bone up a bit on that, check out that blog. So same thing, you can see here all assumptions come in, which is coming in from, our conversion assumption sheet. Basically all this stuff, right, comes in here. And so same stuff, customers, end of month customers, new customers. And now I have to build all these sheets for doing customer renewal calculations. So this stuff is pulling out, I think, of your annual assumptions sheet. And we adjust it for churn. And then who we have post renewal period. And then we start doing package switching off those numbers to get to our total customers. The revenue calculations also get complicated. So we have what the new pricing is, and we know what your original pricing is, right? So this was the $350, $450. Where is the annual assumption sheet? So your numbers were something like 450, something like that. So that's what these numbers are going to be like based off those. Let's move back here. So we're going to take where your old numbers are, and so that when people are renewing, they're going to change at their original price and not what the new pricing is. This is quite complicated. Then we do the MRR waterfall. So we have the start of the month MRR. Then we add the new customers based on new pricing. Then less churn based on the original pricing. Then we have package switching, downgrades, upgrades. Then you have your end of month MRR. Plus we add the actual MRR that you took from your actuals sheet somewhere up here. Then we do calculations for your bookings. So we have total new customers. Then we add the renewals based on the new pricing, which is basically coming from your actuals, annual assumptions sheet. Deducting, let's see these a bit better, right? Deducting a churn. Then we have package switching, downgrades, and upgrades. And then that gets us to our total bookings. So if that didn't sound that complicated, the calculations are. You don't need to get into it. I recommend not spending time doing it. If you're a huge nerd, feel free. This is 3,842 rows or something. Okay, guys, so that was the annual sheet and the annual calculation sheet, the monthly calculation sheet. The only goal of reading me explain this is to let you know that I know what I'm doing and that there's a whole bunch of calculations involved in this that you don't need to touch. So focus on doing good, strong, logical inputs, and the model will give you the actual outputs. I think I've also explained maybe in the last video, some limitations that are here or some assumptions that I have been made. But there's basically every degree of accuracy that I could basically come up with built into this. And anything that I haven't really thought about either is not needed or this basically just too complicated to really make it any worth something, because your model is ultimately only going to be as good as your assumptions. And let's face it, no one knows about forecasting the future. Okay, guys, as usual, if you like this video, send me some lovely comment about how you want to run away with me and be my bride. If you've got any questions you want me to answer, feel free to sound out and I'll be happy to answer for you. If I explain this terribly and you have some burning questions which I haven't dealt with, then I will redo this video and upload a new one. Okay, guys, I hope that was super valuable. The next video that is going to be, what is this? Next video you're going to have in the series is going to be about revenue pricing, so your core pricing sheet, which is really important. I'm going to be using an old video because nothing's really changed that much. If you're like, yeah, Alex, you just didn't pay attention. Yeah, okay, I was trying to save time making new videos, but I'll explain everything relatively detailed in there. Okay, guys, keep hustling. Bye.